$0. That's how much Jeff Bezos paid in federal income tax in 2007. A year his wealth grew by billions. 0. Now think about your last paycheck. Think about that chunk that disappeared before you even touched it. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't bad luck. That was the system, working exactly as designed. Just not for you. Because while you were handing over 25, 30, 37% of everything you earned, the richest men on earth figured out something that nobody talks about openly. Something so simple, so elegant, and so completely legal that it almost feels like a magic trick. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how it works, and I promise you, you will never look at your paycheck the same way again.
Here's something nobody taught you in school. There are two completely different tax systems operating inside America. Same country, same laws, same flag, but two entirely different games. You are in game one. You earn money, the government sees it instantly. Before it reaches your bank account, federal tax, gone. Social Security, gone. Medicare, gone. Stack it all up, and the average working American loses somewhere between a quarter and nearly half of everything they make. No appeal, no delay, no escape. They are in game two. Mark Zuckerberg's official salary at Meta, the trillion-dollar company he built, $1. Elon Musk's salary at Tesla, $0. Jeff Bezos, the man who owns a $500 million super yacht so large it needed a second yacht just to carry its helicopter, his official income is $81,840 a year. Low enough, and I need you to really hear this, low enough to qualify for the child tax credit. Jeff Bezos, child tax credit. Designed for families who can barely pay rent, claimed by a man who could buy your entire city before lunch. Now, the question that should be burning in your brain right now, if they earn nothing, how are they buying the yachts, the private islands, the rockets? The answer is 3 words, and those 3 words will change how you see everything. Meet Alex. Alex isn't real, but his strategy is, and it belongs to every billionaire you've ever heard of. Alex starts a company. It explodes. He's now worth $40 billion on paper. The IRS is watching. Does Alex owe any taxes? No, because Alex hasn't sold a single share. Here's the rule that changes everything. In America, you only pay tax when you realize money, when you actually sell something and cash it out. Alex's $40 billion is just sitting there, growing, multiplying, and the IRS cannot touch it. This is step 1. Buy. Accumulate. Never sell. The clock never starts. Now Alex wants to live. Jets, compounds, art, a lifestyle that costs tens of millions a year. But selling stock means triggering a tax bill worth billions. So instead, Alex calls his bank. I have $40 billion in stock. Loan me $500 million. The bank practically trips over itself saying yes. And here is the part that should make your jaw drop. A loan is not income. The IRS has no way to tax borrowed money. 0 taxes on $500 million. Alex pays 2% interest on the loan, which might itself be tax deductible. Compare that to taking a $500 million salary, where he'd hand $185 million straight to the IRS. Borrowing cost him $10 million. The salary would have cost him $185 million. This is step 2. Borrow. Live like a god, pay like a ghost. Now, Alex is old. That stock he bought for almost nothing decades ago, it's worth $200 billion. An entire lifetime of growth. Almost 0 taxes paid. Does the government finally get their cut when he sells? Alex doesn't sell. Alex dies. And here, right here, is where this strategy becomes something that sounds almost supernatural. His children inherit the stock, and instead of the IRS saying, "This stock was worth pennies when your father bought it, it's worth $200 billion today, you owe us taxes on all of that growth," the IRS says something else entirely. It says, "We're resetting the clock." The official term is stepped-up basis. What it means is this. The IRS pretends Alex's children bought the stock today at today's price. Every dollar of gain Alex accumulated over his entire life, erased. Permanently, legally. $200 billion in growth, wiped from the tax books, in the moment he took his last breath. This is step 3. Die. And the cycle begins again for his children. Buy, borrow, die. In 2024 alone, Bezos's wealth grew $80 billion. Zuckerberg's $113 billion. Musk's $213 billion. Combined taxes paid on all of that growth? 0.
Now, you're probably thinking, okay, this is insane, but surely someone is watching these people, someone whose entire job is to catch this. And there is, or there was. Deep inside the IRS, there's a special unit. It's called the Global High Wealth Division. Not ordinary auditors. These are forensic specialists who spend their careers learning the exact tricks billionaires use. And they're extraordinarily effective. Every dollar invested in this division returns $6 in recovered taxes, 6 to 1. They are the only thing standing between the wealthiest people on earth and total permanent immunity from the tax code. In 2025, that division lost 38% of its staff. Cases built over years, abandoned. Statutes of limitations on $100 million tax bills quietly expiring. One current agent described it simply: "It's a lucky day for some taxpayers who owe hundreds of millions to the government." A Yale University study calculated that if these cuts hold for 10 years, America will lose at least $160 billion in tax revenue. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to think, I'm just going to give you one fact and let you sit with it. The person who led the effort to gut this specific division, the one whose only job was auditing the ultra-wealthy, is himself one of the wealthiest men on Earth. A man whose own financial arrangements would have been subject to review by this exact office. That is not a theory. That is documented, public record. Still think the game is fair? I've saved the best for last, the strategy so obscure, so audacious, that even financial journalists barely cover it. This is the story of a retirement account. Your retirement account, if you have one, might have a few $1,000s in it, maybe more if you've been disciplined. The government built these accounts to help working Americans save for old age. Teachers, nurses, firefighters. The deal is simple. Put money in, pay taxes up front, and when you retire, everything it grew into comes out tax-free. Beautiful, simple, designed for you. In 1999, Peter Thiel, billionaire co-founder of PayPal, opened one of these accounts. He deposited $1,700. But here's what he put inside it. Before PayPal had any real valuation, when shares were priced at fractions of a penny, Thiel quietly bought 1.7 million PayPal shares and placed them inside his retirement account. Prices unavailable to ordinary investors. PayPal sold to eBay, the account exploded. He reinvested inside the account, including an early bet on Facebook. By 2019, Peter Thiel's retirement account was worth $5 billion. $5 billion. In an account designed to help a nurse retire with dignity. When he withdraws it, 0 taxes, forever. He broke no laws, not one. The government built a shelter for working Americans. He parked a $5 billion empire inside it and smiled all the way to the bank. Let me make this crystal clear. You pay taxes on every dollar before you see it. They pay almost nothing, legally, permanently, by design. You have a retirement account with a few $1,000s. They have one with $5 billion, untouchable. The office built to catch them, being dismantled by one of them. None of this required a crime. Every loophole was written into law. Every law was lobbied for. Every lobbyist was paid by the people who benefit. This system isn't broken. It's working perfectly. Just not for you. Here's the only thing I'll leave you with. The people who built this game are counting on you never understanding it. They're counting on it being too complicated, too boring, too distant. You just proved them wrong. Now you know exactly how the game works. What you do with that is entirely up to you.